Hello again. This is more on the last video I just made, defining true forced loneliness or defining loneliness. And the reason I'm doing another series, another part on this video is just because there's a lot involved with it, and I would like some people to really understand what it is, because I made true forced loneliness well over a year ago, 1, 2, and 3, and there's a lot of controversy on it. People don't understand it, and they don't understand the definition, and I think I pretty well explained that to you now. And there's some other things that go along with this that need to be said, okay? You know, a woman will tell a guy that they need to make her laugh, and they need to have a car, they need to have this, they need to do this, or they need to look this way. Women will write up a whole damn list of things that they expect from a guy. And let me tell you something. If a woman can write this whole list of things they expect from a guy before they will date a guy, then a guy should have sit down and copy everything she wants. And when she wants this, then she needs to have the exact same things. That's right, the exact same things. She says you got to be able to make her laugh. She has to be able to make you laugh. She says you should have a car, she should have a car. If you have to have a high-paying job, she has to have a high-paying job. You catch my point? Because the woman that does that is totally wrong for doing that. That is totally wrong. That's going after possessions, material items, material things, because she lives in a material world, okay? And that's bullshit. That's the same thing as going after looks, okay? That nobody keeps their looks, okay? It's a crock of shit. And when you take statistics out there, I can guarantee you there's at least 1 million, if not more than 1 million men right now that have reached the age of 30 and 40 years old and never have one date in their life. But when it comes to women, show me one. That's why when I say women say they know what loneliness is, I laugh. Because they haven't the first clue. They're not the ones being forced. They're not the ones being forced into it. They're the ones doing the denying. They know they are. Okay, so there's just little things like that. Yes, there's men out there that's just as stupid as a woman that does the same things, will go by looks or pick gold digging. It's just the majority. You want to say, if you did percentages on it, you'd have to say, in an estimated percentage rate, you'd have to say 80% of women are men that won't use looks to 20% that will, 90% of women to 10% that won't. I know that sounds crazy, but that's not. Because the majority of every woman already knows they're all chasing the same thing. You can go pretty much anywhere in life and see the average woman, the heavy-set woman, and the one that's not good looking, and they all have a family, they have a ring, they have somebody at home. And then you can go out there on the streets and find 90% of the average guys, and out of that 90% of the average guys, 50% of that average guys are going to be alone. They have nobody in their life. And the reason they can't have nobody in their life is for the same reason that I've been alone for so many years, for the same reason so many guys are. It's not because they chose to, it's not because they want to. And you're going to tell people that they should be gay. I've been told this. Well, go be gay. Even by a woman, be gay. You know? No. Not at all. You don't have the right to force somebody to be gay because you're so picky you're going to go by their looks or their size. You don't have that right. How'd you like every guy in this world do that to you and tell you to be a lesbian? Okay? That's the same as the person that tells you, then choose to be alone. Go get a hobby. Choose to be alone. That's not a choice that you don't tell somebody what they have to choose. You don't tell them what to choose from the inside. That's not going to make them happy. That's the reason in our society nowadays so many women get raped, so many women get killed. This is one of the major reasons this happens. I mean, it's not the whole reason, but it's one of the very first major reasons that this happens. That there's so many rapes and so much violence against a woman. Because she didn't use her head. She didn't use her head at all. She thinks she's so smart, but she's really not. She's not at all. Because she didn't use her head in no means at all. Because if she can sit down and write 4 pages of things a guy has to be in order to be with a guy, she can take 2 seconds to look at a guy and know if she wants to know him or if she don't want to know him. And they all chase the same type of guy. That leaves the guy that don't fit the chase quotas totally gone, out, ignorantly, alone, forced to be alone. That's right, forced to be alone. You know, so don't tell me to be gay. Don't tell Dwayne to be gay. Don't tell Damien to be gay. Don't tell somebody to be gay. Don't tell us to... It's okay to be alone. Don't try to give us all this advice how we can get a hobby, we can do this, we can do that to be alone. Because that is something a person has to want for themselves from the inside. All you people that have somebody that are telling somebody this, then why don't you go lose your partner? Okay, the guy says this, that he needs to get rid of his wife and he needs to practice what he's preaching. If the girl says this, get rid of your husband and practice what you're preaching. Because I guarantee you're not going to like what you're preaching. So until you can practice what you preach, I wouldn't run your mouth. So the difference between somebody that chooses to be alone and somebody that don't choose to be alone is big. Big difference. How does it emotionally affect somebody that don't choose to be alone compared to somebody that chooses to be alone? Way big difference. It can destroy a person from the inside out and will destroy a person from the inside out and will change a person. And that's where I come off saying what I say. So really do some serious thinking about this. Because if you do some really serious thinking about this and put yourself in somebody else's shoes and think about this for a while, then you'll figure it out and you'll realize what it is. True forced loneliness exists. It's a living fact. And because people haven't heard the terminology, don't mean it's not there. All you got to do is think about it. Think about it really hard. Put yourself through these emotional situations. Think about what you're doing. Think about it. You don't have the right to tell somebody else that they can live by themselves, or to not feel that they need their other half in their life or that special somebody. You don't have the right to tell somebody that. That is a choice that a person makes from within inside themselves that makes them happy, and you don't tell somebody to, well, take the choice that you don't want. Meanwhile, the person is telling them to take the choice they don't want. They can have somebody in their life because they chose to and that person's with them. Okay, and it ain't so much they chose to. See, the women did the choosing for them. See, 90% of them guys don't realize that they already have a gal, but that woman is the one that did the choosing for them. Says the man has no say-so at all. And that is wrong. So if anything needs to change in this society, it's women. That's right, it's women. And any man that acts like a woman or does the same thing a woman does, they need to change as well. Have a nice day.